Today, I would like to talk to you about the most important virtues in our life: humility. What is humility? Humility is considered by all traditions and cultures as the mother of all virtues. What it means is you being down to earth and grounded. But in our modern world and culture that we are in, it can become very challenging for us to express humility. It is about being gentle and being patient by nature, which shows our great inner strength. Humility is not about denying the good in you. If you've done something good and you really are good, then you need to appreciate yourself and give due credit to yourself. So, humility is neither about denying the goodness in you, nor is it about putting ourselves down. In fact, it is about freeing us from being worried too much about ourselves. It is not thinking less of ourselves, but thinking of ourselves less. Humility is not about showing weakness. Rather, it is giving our best with all our talents and gifts that we have. When we do something great, we thank ourselves, and we do something wrong or poorly, we attribute it to our limitations. Each of us are unique and have different strengths, talents, and gifts. It also means that we have our own limitations and weaknesses. Humility brings in us a kind of tolerance which emerges from grounding one's worth in our core value as human beings. It is not bragging about our big salaries or about our positions of power or our looks of a movie star or being that influencer in social media with tons of followers. Instead, humility is where humble people place high value on more meaningful things that benefit others, such as noble virtues and qualities. In the words of Mother Teresa, if you're humble, nothing will touch you, neither grace or disgrace, because you know what you are. With humility, we become less arrogant, less manipulative, less dishonest, or less destructive in our nature. Instead, we learn from our mistakes and take responsibility for it. We are now more receptive and listen to others, and we better our relationship and others as we now accept people the way they are. In fact, humble people handle stress better and have better physical and mental happiness. As humble people, we become more generous, helpful, and show more gratitude. All of this helps us create a closer relationship with others and create a culture where everyone thrives. Now, you may have this question: how do I become more humble? So, let me help you form this new habit through following practices which will help you stay more humble and grounded. And by the way, you need to continue to practice this for at least 30 days. This message is not about just listening, but to give you a practical way to get you to become more humble in your life. The first step for it is to practice of reflections. So in the practice of reflections, there are two practices, and you could practice any one of them. The first one being, every night review your day and ask for forgiveness for anything you have failed or done wrong. Think about how you could have been more humble in your approach and your relationship and be more modest in such situations now. And the second being, write gratitude letters or gratitude diaries where you can express your gratitude to people who helped you. The other step is practice of service. You could follow here also any one of the two. The first one being, try doing at least one household task. Maybe help your spouse in their housework and take ownership of that task that you intend to do. And the other practice of service is you could give yourself in service of others. For example, maybe you could volunteer in some social service or volunteer in a hospice. Lower yourself and serve others in a way that may feel demeaning to you. And the third step is the practice of expression. Here again, you could practice any one of the two. The first would be that you could express by saying thank you to someone. It's a way of appreciating our gifts we get in our lives and means that we recognize the gifts that come into our lives, and so we appreciate the value of others in our lives. And the second practice of expression is ask feedback from people who are close to you and accept their feedback. Be receptive, as every time we do this, we are learning and growing in our lives. The fourth step is the practice of observational shift. You could practice any one of the two here. Put up these small irritations and troubles that people give you with patience, understanding, and empathy. Avoid demanding that our choices, comforts, and our preferences be accommodated. And the other practice of observational shift is allow others to take the credit rather than trying to be the center of attention. Give credit to others and let others shine. Avoid trying to create favorable impressions, and instead practice being less self-conscious and become more God-conscious. Try connecting with nature and try to accept where we lose control, nature takes over. The connect with nature helps you to stay more humble. If you want to follow these practices, then click on the link below or the button below to get a copy of the worksheet for practicing and nurturing the virtue of humility in our lives. I've given you some practical steps which you could try so that you could remain and practice to be more humble in nature. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, a great man is always willing to be little. So my dear friends, let's all practice humility in our lives. This was the message I wanted to share today. And this is Dax Mohan, and thank you.